Yes, I move that the Board of Education approve the request for a $250,000 loan to Mountain Phoenix Community School for the purpose of meeting their budgetary requirements to be repaid over 5 years beginning in the 2014 fiscal year.
Is there a second? I'll second the motion. Discussion. Ms. Feldman.
The memo that we were given, it looks like there's two different categories. One, it's total unexpected costs. And then the second, and this is where I have the question, is the total cost exceeding established funds. So did you spend money you knew you didn't have?
I'll try to answer that. My name is Robin Adams, and I'm secretary with the school board. It wasn't anticipated or nor intentional that those funds were spent beyond the budget. I can't honestly answer how we
Speak louder, please.
Okay. I can't honestly answer how we moved beyond that budget at the time.
I'm Tammy Reiki, I'm the treasurer. I think some of that is the electricity and gas. We were not anticipating our new building. We thought that would be more energy efficient, and our first month of bills have come in double. You know, they are equal to what we're paying for the rest of our facility. We're currently looking at bringing in like an electrician or something to see if there's something we can do, because right now the top part of the middle school is unfinished, but is being heated, and there's no like thermostat on there. So we're hoping that, you know, that money hasn't been spent. We're saying there's this potential, like right now our electricity bills are coming in double. We're hoping to get it fixed, but we don't want to be back before you in May or something if there's a problem.
Ms. Dalton. Question?
I have a statement and a question.
Can I address this as well, as far as...
Sure, if there's more comment.
Yeah, regarding the CMAS and the computers needed and the iPads needed for the READ Act assessing, you know, all of those things were not in our budget, and we were not given those directives actually until after our budget had been developed and submitted. And so that those are expenses that actually weren't in the budget. We're not a big computer school. In fact, we are kind of famous for being schools that don't compute. And so we had to upgrade those, get Chromebooks and do all of that as well to prepare for the testing that's coming with CMAS in April. So that was another bit of expenses. And then of course the overage in the construction, which was about $165,000 or so. So that put us, you know, way in over. And that was what you were going to address, right?
In terms of our budget regarding the school itself, the new middle school, which is a great addition to the campus, I might add, is that the original budget planned was on track for the funding we had at the time. And so we didn't plan for a project that we didn't have funds for. And so at the point that we were in the project, like many projects, we encountered some major expenses, primarily to utilities, and it was the water tap fees, the Excel energy fees, and as well as data infrastructure. And so those were the primary elements. They added up to about $145,000 that put us over our projected budget. And that's why we're standing here before you now.
Ms. Dalton.
I really need you to help me understand how this would be a fiscally responsible decision by this board to approve a $250,000 loan. And I appreciate Waldorf. I appreciate what it brings to the table. We have a number of charter schools in Jeffco that are very responsible with their budgets, serve different populations of children. They get results for kids. But when I read through the materials for the board meeting tonight, there were a number of red flags that popped up for me, falling short in terms of enrollment projections, struggling to meet the budget. I am hard pressed, and I'm asking for you to make the case for why this board should approve a $250,000 loan, when, as you know, we have other competing budget issues, and the majority of the board recently approved a $450,000 loan for a charter school in South Jeffco. That starts to add up pretty quickly, right? So help.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got a couple of thoughts, and I'm going to pass it to my colleagues here to add to that. I guess one thought, kind of speaking philosophically, is that the Waldorfs and the charters are not getting the same kind of support financially, but yet we are still educating a segment of the population of kids. You know, much like Nicole said earlier in her 3 minutes, each kid deserves the same chance and should have the same funding, and our community is doing the same thing, but with less money and funding a lot of it out of our own pocket. And so, you know, potentially we stubbed our toe at this junction, but I think we have a strong business case and strong performance to move forward with.
I would just like to note that, I mean, we started out as a mountain campus about 7 years ago, and I think 3 years ago we decided to open this Wheat Ridge campus. So 3 years ago we were a campus of about 40 kids, and we have grown to over 400, 506. And with that explosive growth, I don't know, just going to some board trainings and that kind of thing, it seems like a lot of schools start off with, oh, well, we're opening a couple of grades and we're growing slowly. And we have just had we opened a campus, we got this bond, which complicated things. We did construction, we have added modular cottages. It was a lot to do for a few volunteers to kind of take on. I think we're at a place now, I mean, the construction's done, we're ready to settle in and, you know, take responsibility for everything. As well as I've been working with Kathleen, I think we could also, looking at a 5-year projection, speed that up where we can pay that off in like 3 years versus the 5 years, if that makes that easier to go down.
Hi, I'm Victoria Hanu. I'm the president of the Governing Council at Mount Phoenix. And one of the things that I'd like to point out is that in the history of our loan, we got a $93,000 loan from the board. And in that $93,000 loan, we were not negative last year. We did not use it. Last year, we came out even at zero. We weren't in the negative at all. So most of the time, over the years of our loans, we've not used and been negative on our loans, so that money has actually been available to the district to use and to invest. And we have laid out a pro forma for over the next 5 years that's extremely conservative. And with that, with Kathleen, we're going to be able to make our payments, and we've always made them early. And this is a very unique situation, strictly because of the construction.
Someone came up to me the other day and was urging me to abandon Mountain Phoenix as, quote, a failed charter school. Now, failed, I think, is a pretty strong word. So I was looking into your performance and was comparing it to the best I could find, which is a neighborhood middle school less than half a mile away. And according to the latest numbers from the Jeffco website, which are 7th grade reading, writing, and math, this is where you stand, I believe. 7th grade math, 58% proficient versus 38% at the nearby school. 7th grade writing, 84% proficient versus 46%. 89% proficient in 7th grade reading versus 63%. Are those accurate? Thank you. So obviously I don't think it's fair to describe that as failing academically. In fact, it looks like academically you're doing something pretty good. Now, financially, that might be a different story, so I understand tonight you're coming and asking in good faith for a chance to correct that. So I don't think anybody here is inclined to shut down a school with 300 children in the middle of the school year. I am inclined under certain conditions to allow a high-performance school like yours to demonstrate you can recover from unfortunate financial decisions. My conditions to support such a loan might include, if possible, and I don't know what the mechanics of this is, Ms. Askelson, but somehow if the facilities are tied to the loan to ensure the district doesn't lose money if Mount Phoenix misses future payments. And if not done already, schedule an update and or an audit for some time later this summer. And as Mr. Witt said, Mountain Phoenix is the only Waldorf-inspired school in Jeffco. And I think this makes it a valuable addition to Jeffco's portfolio of option. And the district should make every effort to ensure the success of Mountain Phoenix students. But these efforts do have their limits. So my cautious support is contingent on tangible results from the administration of Mount Phoenix. So that's my comment.
Ms. Feldman, one more
I'm
comment.
looking at the elementary reading, and it looks like it's only 62%, and we want to be at 85%. Is that correct?
So one thing about Waldorf schools, there's a motto. It's start slow to go fast, and we call it the Waldorf curve. We've done the Oberman study, if you're interested, OBERMAN study tells a lot about the Waldorf charters in California and the results they've seen. So it's very interesting, and we're pretty much in line with that.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Newkirk?
Well, thank you.
All right, roll call.
Ms. Dahlkemper?
I think one of our roles as school board members and elected officials is to be good fiscal stewards of taxpayer dollars. And so for the reasons that we discussed a little bit earlier and the concerns, I am a no vote tonight.
Ms. Feldman?
I want you to know that I support your school 100%. I enjoy going to your school. I love being there for the groundbreaking, and I agree with Ms. Dahlkemper as fiscal stewards. I just cannot vote yes. I vote no.
Mr. Newkirk?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
I would like to vote yes, but I would really like to have there be some sort of external audit associated with it at the end of the year, just make sure they're okay.
We are audited every year.
I'll vote yes.
Yes.
Mr. Witt?